Yeah. Hello, darling. What's got you here today?
I come once a month.
Once a month, okay.
To, what my poster says, I think, is why I'm here.
So, sir, I'm acting on the Secretary on authority.
Pardon? Yeah.
According to your placard, all stuff you're showing, you're protesting on the square, you're not allowed, at least to get the permit. So do you want to move offside, please?
Yeah, can I walk across it?
That's can't go that direction, sir.
Yeah, can I walk over it?
Yes, please.
I can, as long as I don't stand.
Yeah. Oh, you.
So this is democracy, you see. This was set aside to represent democracy.
Yes, sir.
And it no longer exists. So now I'm doing what you're saying.
You don't need to show
yeah,
up.
I know.
Be on the square, sir.
I understand where you're at. And thanks,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Been kind.
Thank you.
Okay, so...
So, do you want to go that direction, sir?
no, I'll
It's
go
big
out
close
this
of
way.
all of
I'll
us.
walk along
It's
the
close
front
of-
of Parliament, so
Thank you, sir.
that's where I'll make
Yes,
the
sir.
way.
Thank you.
And so what's your opinion on Thatcher's funeral right now?
Well, do you know anything about the petty bourgeoisie?
No, I don't.
Thatcher, we'll find out about the petty bourgeoisie, and it explains why. Thatcher's come from the working class and thinks she's from the upper class, which obviously she isn't. And the upper class
do you want
love
to
it.
leave, please?
Oh, yeah, of
Thank
course,
you.
yeah. I'm moving.
So basically she went from the grocery to the Ritz.
That's it. Well, that's going from the working class to what we call the upper class, the aristocracy. You know, like Cameron. You've heard of Cameron, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, he's from the aristocracy.
So she was an original...
And she was pretending to be part of the Camerons lot, you with me?
Yeah.
And she wants people, ordinary working people, to have the same stupid belief.
So would you
Steal
say...
from the poor to give to the rich.
Yeah.
That's what this country's now about. Steal from the poor, give to the rich.
Would you say that she was one of the original yuppies? One of the first...
No,
say
you know,
mobile.
she was highly qualified, which is sad. You know, as I said to you, you don't know what the petty bourgeoisie is. She should have found out what petty bourgeoisie means.
Yeah.
Then she would understand, you know, this is not democracy. Have you seen? That's a set-up for peaceful protesting. And now we can't do that. A single person can't stand on that grass opposite, and the Parliament there decided on that. That's not democracy. We haven't got democracy. The House of Lords unelected makes the laws.
Do you
think
feel
it should not be such a ceremony, such a priceless ceremony?
No, well, you know, to show a Prime Minister, it's just sad. Ordinary people go and think she's wonderful. She closed half the industry of Britain down. We was the world leaders of cars and trucks before she came along. We don't make a British car or truck anymore. The British Rail was the end of the world. It's been virtually closed up and now privatised, and it costs more to run privatised than it did when it was nationalised. That's not success. So, you know, wake up to democracy. You're working people, you have to do a living. Is your year better this year than last? Is the world peaceful? These are warmongers. Every year they declare war on some foreign land.
Yeah, because her son was caught
she went to little island off
Yeah.
Argentina, and she, for the bring back the British Empire stupidity, she had to go and beat the Argentinians. A ship was sailing away back to Argentina. She used a nuclear submarine to sink it. That's the legacy. She stole milk from poor children at school. She took their right to a free glass of milk so they have protein and minerals every day. She took it away from them. Is that a legacy we should be proud of?
And do you think there was any improvement with grocery stores since she came in?
Well, she closed down, even the Captain's friends, she shut half of them down. That's why they were angry. Half British business were bankrupted. She freed, her legacy is she freed the financial market. She deregulated the financial market. That's brought around the bankruptcy of the world, her deregulation of the financial market. Because euro dollars were being traded, and if you know, find out the history of euro dollars, it's corrupt.
And do you think the House of Commons still stands for the common people?
Well, the House of Lords is unelected, and the House of Lords vetoes every piece of legislation and writes the small print of every piece of legislation. Does that answer your question? And that's unelected. The Prime Minister is put there by the newspaper barons. You know about that? You can't be a Prime Minister of the till Murdoch and his empire like you. Then he swings the vote by 5% so you get elected. Is that democracy?
What do you think about the fact that she died in the Ritz?
Well, you know, it's sad people die.
Because a lot of A&E and hospitals are being shut down at the moment.
Yes.
Do you think that with the expenditure on the funerals today...
If you had a serious heart attack or some serious illness now, where would you be rushed to? An A&E, the nearest one. So if there's no A&Es, ordinary people don't get access to the NHS. I can tell you about my father. Unless you have A&Es, the ordinary people in crisis cannot even get medical help because your doctor's surgery might be closed and there's a waiting list for 4 days.
One of the things that enabled Margaret Thatcher to become Prime Minister, she was able to get an education with the trebling of fees, which has been...
Yeah, I was educated where I got a grant to study. I think every human being should have that right. So having fees to get an education, only the rich can get education, is a joke if you believe in democracy. So what she was at there, I don't know. But I know I was a teacher at the time when she was Minister of Education. And they virtually started privatising to destroy free education. It should be a comprehensive free education. She played a part of getting rid of that right the way through. So now to go to college, you have difficulty getting funding or the right. To go to university, you get bankrupted for £50,000. Which you are up to the system. You can't protest like me. If you've got a debt of £50,000, you've got to go along with the system. Is that democracy?
And do you feel Thatcherism is still alive, even though she's going to be buried today?
No, she was still a petty bourgeoisie. Now the bourgeoisie through Cameron and Boris Johnson have taken over.
So her legacy still lives on through the politics?
But it's gone even deeper. The aristocracy and the royal anger's on now rule. You know, we're all having austerity, but I don't see much austerity by the Queen and the royal family. Do you? She even rolls around in London in untaxed Rolls Royces. Your car would get taken off the street if it was untaxed and pulverised. Is that democracy? That's what goes on in Britain. It's supposed to be the democracy of the world.
And do you think they're actually breaking the Constitution by denying your right to protest?
Yeah, it's in the Human Rights Act, and the Human Rights Act is still law. And I have a right of all citizens to peacefully protest. And if you can't, on a green, stand one person with the flag and protest, you haven't got democracy, you haven't got human rights. But the human rights was passed by Parliament. They want to get rid of it, of course. The legacy of Thatcher, they want to take every human right we've got, because now we're a threat. Now we've become educated and wise to what they're up to. They want to smash us down. Look at the police are wonderful now, but look at the number here. Just in case an odd person like me has something wrong on their flag. Is that democracy?
What's your opinion of her in terms of her being a woman, one of Britain's first female Prime Ministers?
That's brilliant. You women, well you see, this lie that many women peddle, that you haven't got rights. The Queen is the most powerful person in the world. She's got 1 million acres of land. Right, she's got 10 palaces. So if you women want equality, I mean, how much do you want? So, you know, there are a few lies around, you know, women and access to power. And who lives the longest? Someone in a relationship. Who's going to inherit all the wealth? Does that answer your question?
Can I ask, what's your name?
Sid Pearson.
Sid Pearson. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Birmingham, but I got out of the rat race. I live in the wilderness of the islands of Scotland.
So you came all the way down from Scotland?
Not now, no, I come from Manchester.
Oh, from Manchester.
Because each winter, where I am in Scotland, at my age, it's getting a bit tough. And so I've got wonderful friends who help me out in the winter, which means I can come once a month and do my bit.
And
Thank you. Yeah.
May I ask you a question for Radio Scotland, please?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's my own, you know.
Well, you say you stay up in Scotland and you've come down here today for the funeral procession.
No, I haven't come for that. I
Okay.
come down once a month to say things like that. I mainly come to say, to point out the truth that the biggest terrorist is United States and Britain on this planet. We cause more violence and more suffering and more mass murder, and there's only one nation on this planet that's used a nuclear bomb. That's the United States. That's dropped it. No other nation on the planet has been so stupid yet. And America has 10,000 nuclear missiles. Britain has at least 250, and they want to dictate to a third world country like North Korea that they can't have a few. That's hypocrisy. That's the definition of it. What I've got, you can't have. And America's got 10,000 nuclear bombs.
Well,
So I think it ought to get rid of a few of its thousands of bombs before you dictate to anyone what they should do or shouldn't.
I see that your sign here mentions stealing from the public to pay degree.
Stealing from the poor, yeah, that's a fact. Right across the world now, we are slowly being driven into poverty. 1 billion people at this moment do not get a clean glass of water. How can we sit around and do nothing?
Obviously, Britain has a comparatively large aid budget, but to know that some public money is paying for Margaret Thatcher's funeral, how do you feel about that today?
Well, I mean, it speaks of itself, yeah, at least £10 million. And I know at this moment she's taking money for food away from children. That's what her legacy, Cameron, and this Chancellor is doing at this moment. So there will be children who do not get clothing and food within miles of this centre. And eventually they will be driven out of London.
So ceremonies on this scale for the former Prime
Well,
Minister
it's
are not appropriate.
political, isn't it? No, it's a political move by the Cameron and his power. Those people who pull his strings. It's a wonderful agitation of the masses, because us masses, as they know, we're a threat. Because as they steal off us, that's going to make us angry, and it's going to make us hungry, and we're all going to be out here. Not just a few, but millions are going to be here, because they'll have nothing if they don't.
Yeah.
And they want to see
Before you got worried about it.
Thank you.
because they're